Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me when I tell you and tell them like it is. Welcome to the show. It's Thursday night once again. Time for another Talk to Me America show with your hostess. I'm LDGddss. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you guys had a fantastic week since the last time I've seen you. Hello, Muko. Yes, you were first from last night. I've actually had this in my head since last night. I can't wait to get it all out. And of course, I'm hoping that people will help me out, give me some phone calls when I tell you. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's see. Of course, we love our lurkers. Drunken Rocky. Oh, Rocky. How's it going, man? Don't forget, he's after me, the White Pill Experience. And if his name doesn't actually give you an idea of what it's going to be about, then you just need to go see it. That's all I can tell you. He's on after me. Space Cowboy, Sai, welcome. This, let's see, Muko. Yes, I said that already. Ebtide, limited access. Reading everyone's thing here. You guys talk so fast. Sparky. Pardon me. Sparky the Welder, welcome. Yes, soft jazz dinner music. It does two things for me. It lets me know that my sound is working on all of the platforms that I'm doing, and it doesn't give me anxiety while working on all of these platforms that I have to take care of. So yes, soft dinner music. And that tells me that I'm 5x5 on there too. So thank you, Sparky. Appreciate you letting me know. Okay. Real quick, my plugs. There we go. Hallie, welcome over there on YouTube. Let me see. I'm looking at all of the chats. We have a few. Like I say, we love our lurkers. We have a few over there on Rumble, and we have a couple over on Kick. Yes, three people on Kick. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Kick is the new platform since I've been able to get some faster equipment. And, of course, I probably need to upgrade the entire computer once this one gets too slow. So, you just never know. And these computers, they just, everything. We're the guinea pigs with these computers, I'm telling you. I can remember a time when if something didn't work properly, we would take it back and they'd give us a new one. Now we have to wait for these updates that may or may not work. And if you don't know how to do a restore, well, most of us know the rest of it. Pastor Chatelet, my main moderator here. Thank you for being here. He says 5x5. Awesome. Computers are the fun to upgrade. You can use some old hardware for streaming. Sometimes. Well, my hardware is pretty old, I guess you could say now, except for the new, what did I get? RAM cards and the new video card. So those are fairly new. Yes. Hope you're doing well in New York. Been praying for you. Back to lurking and chatting on Odysee. Yes, Hallie, we do wonder about you. You are our news from New York most of the time. So, Mrs. Bot says hello, Russian Bot. Well, hello, Russian Bot and Ms. Bot. Appreciate it. And looks like Sergeant Tripod is here. Here's what I heard. Everybody. Okay. Shout outs real quick. 451 Actual, Pastor Chatelet, of course, Red Dawn Radio, The Drunken Rocky. Don't forget he's after my show. I'll keep reminding you, especially since if you're drinking during my show. I'm sure that makes my voice sound a little less irritating, grating. I don't know. Ray Noth, DJ Bass, Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. I actually saw his newest video. I like his reactions. Miss his daily shows when I'm awake that early. America Floats, Tom. Actually, I haven't seen anything from him since you guys got back from Vegas. That must have been one heck of a trip. Magical Trevor, who, of course, we're all proud of for going viral. He was the in-ear monitor man for the president. And his latest one, when president got sandbagged, went viral. That was cute. Lots of people were showing that. Even Benny Johnson showed that one. Reverend Rant, who does the Boiling Point Live. Some guy from Maine, Not Me B, Rougarou, and Oomtown. That also tells me, that my latest trick on my setup here on my Stream Deck worked too. It has a function where you can do two things at once, and I was already doing two things at once, so I had to make it do three things at once. So I now shut off one source of music while I unmute the microphone and change scenes. So yeah, Stream Deck is awesome, by the way, in case for any of you streamers out there, or any of you creators out there. Stream Deck is really, really cool. It's really simple too. And it's not real expensive. Even the big one was not too bad. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you, this is what I'm talking about, the Pure Blood TV Guide, which actually, when I was talking about Tom from America Floats, he and Tweak has started our, should I say, outside or away from the keyboard journey, or should I say portable keyboard journey there. That's more better, because they actually had keyboards in front of them and plus cameras and everything else like that too, but they started in with our journey being able to speak personally and trying to get Pure Blood TV on the map of people that we need to talk to and need to be talking to and about and for, and vice versa. So that was cool. And they had quite, if you were following us, they had quite the adventure. The van broke down. People had to go get them. They had to have an Uber or something like that, rent a car or whatever like that. Hotel rooms and all kinds of stuff. But it started out with the broken down van. And it got crazier after that. But then it settled down and everything's fine now, it looks like. In fact, last week, Tweak called me and let me know about how, let us all know about how it went. And it was fun. It was fun. So make sure you go to pureblood.tv on the internet and go discover or join. There's a place on there you can contact some of these people if you want to be a part of the Pure Blood TV Guide. We don't discriminate. So, well, we do, but not like you think. I don't run the thing. But you can get on the TV Guide. In fact, we are growing by leaps and bounds, because I'm literally, you used to be able to see me right in the center when I click on here. Now you got to scroll down to see me. And there I am. They tell you who's on air at the moment if you want something immediately. I was used to be in the middle of that one too. Now you got to scroll down to see me again. Of course, I'm in really good company, Pastor Chatelet and Dr. Natas. So, and of course, all of these people don't do the same things. We're all different. And we change our formats often to go along with what's going on. Thank you for sharing that, Ebtide. All right, checking the chats. All right, welcome everybody. All right, don't forget all the convenient ways. And this is the last thing before I open the phone lines. Don't forget all the convenient ways you can actually support my channel, so I can keep the power of A1 going for everyone. That is the purpose of my show, getting people to not voluntarily stay quiet when they know things are not cool or wrong, etc. and etc. And in fact, that side doesn't have any qualms about lying to you at the top of their lungs. So at least let's get our truth out there at the top of ours, right? And we're guaranteed it. And I was always told by one of my agents before I fired him that all contracts are only as good as the paper they're written on unless they're enforced. And guess what? It even says so in that document that we're in charge of that. So, my channel is completely supported by you guys. I don't take, and I don't plan on taking any sponsors or anything like that. Not unless it's one of those ones where I get to do the telling and they just pay me. But I rarely ever see that, ever, in any contract. Anytime anybody's paying you, they want complete control of you, usually, especially in show business. So you can super chat me on Rumble and on Odysee, Ko-Fi, which comes highly recommended by Pastor Shadley. That can either be sporadic or I've got a monthly on there. Odysee, I have a monthly option on there as well. Buy me a milkshake. And for you diehards out there, there's still a PayPal link. And you can also scan my little thingy below for my Cash App. And, of course, thanks in advance and afterwards for some of you. Best thing, of course, to do is make sure you share. X my ass out. I actually got a chance to do that myself this time. Hopefully we'll get more and more growing, man. This is the day of the expanding man. Does anybody know where that came from? Okay. So again, also too, I want folks to call in. I want people to not be scared to speak out. There's plenty of examples out there now, and there are plenty of people actually speaking out. But I'd like them to make phone calls. You know, it's a good thing to get a lot of people together as far as that goes too. And even if you disagree, you can always learn from someone, even if it's what not to do. I think that's what we. I think we all agree on that. I think that's even in the Bible somewhere, somehow or another. Ebb Tide, Steely Dan, Deacon Blues. Oh, good ear. All right, so like I say, my goal is to get people out there exercising their First Amendment rights. All right, so, and of course, we should never just voluntarily shut up. All right, never surrender, never shut up. Hell, even Trump tells you that, and so do the other side. Like I say, they lead by example. And like I say, they don't have any problems about lying to us at the top of their lungs. We shouldn't have any qualms about truthing them at the top of ours. All right, I'm opening the phone lines right now. So you can... anytime. Of course, I've got tons to tell you about this topic. Because, I mean, it's one of those things that just dawned on me, especially, again, I've been pointing these things out, but at the same time, it seems we are distressing the 1% to an extent, and I'm going to point some of that out today. So, and of course, like I say, call me anytime. You can talk about whatever you want. That's the whole point. It doesn't have to be political. It doesn't have to be, you can just... The main thing I'm trying to get people also to is we make the news. Not what they tell us, not what these talking heads tell us, even the ones that we really like. You know, they'll tell us some things and everything like that, but the stuff is actually happening to the average person like you and me. Right? We're the ones that are having to look at the grocery store and put down the meat that's 5 cents more and keep looking for one that's even cheaper than that. We're the ones that have to watch or go without if we can't afford something. We're the ones that are having to wait paycheck to paycheck to do things for our children. That's not right. That's also not equality either. So I'm going to start off tonight's show with a question, and don't forget the phone lines are open. It looks like everything's working. Looks like everything's working, so you'll have to tell me. Call me. Okay. I'm active. Everything. All right. Good. Microsoft. All right. So, first thing that came to my mind when I started thinking about this, and when it's kind of slapped me in the face as to what's going on, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I'm going to start out with a question. Who has it been? And I know you guys know the answer to this question. It's kind of an obvious question. But who has it been over the last, 40 years or so now, that has been in our faces constantly asking for cash from us, from everything from cancer victims to hurricane relief victims, even AIDS and other illnesses and afflictions. Meanwhile, they do this all while claiming their fair share, or claiming to have to pay their fair share, or people like them need to pay their fair share, and that they're coming after them this time. Who is it? The rich. How many times have you heard, we're going after the rich? The rich are going to pay their fair share. while you're standing there looking at him in, oh, maybe a $10,000 suit, just flew in on a private jet and all this other stuff, and it's like, excuse me? Meanwhile, we're the ones that are, like, getting less and less and less and less and less and less. The rich. And these rich politicians and celebrities and talking heads are the one that have been telling us for years that we're going after the rich now. We're going to go after those rich. We're going to make absolutely sure those people pay their fair share. One of the reasons why they don't want Trump in there is because he's actually one of the rich that tells you the truth about the tax codes. And, gee, it's so funny that they would never change those. But they would complain that we're the selfish ones for not wanting to pay their taxes. Huh. Let's see. The Red Cross. Zelensky. Der Kaiser Halsalt. Welcome to the show. Panhandlers. Really? Panhandlers ask you for money and then tell you they're going after the rich? Well, maybe they are. But not the way you... not in that way. But yeah, they nickel and dime us to death for all of this stuff and then call us selfish when we just can't do it. All right. Now, at one point or another, and this is why I say 40 years. Yes, I'm a little bit older than the rest of you, a lot of you. But there's a lot of you that still remember this, and it's all over the internet. You can look it up. You don't have to believe me. Okay? But they used to actually even entertain us once in a while. You know, give us a little something for our money. Make it a little bit worth our while. And you know, the songs and everything that they would write would actually give us the feels for these people that they were actually vying for all of this money. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's shit like this disingenuous crapola that you see right here. Oh, they were so concerned what's happening
that we were texting
in Maui.
back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said,
yeah, Dolly Parton gave her own money. These people opened up a fund. And I actually found somebody who will explain that to you better than I could. Now, I've dealt with a lot of 401c3s, and I used to work for one. So I know some of this, and I'll point some of this stuff out to you as well. And be able to confirm some of it. But yeah, you got two billionaires standing here asking you for money again. For neighbors that they could care less about. You know, but Oprah's been busted. We've all been through all of this and everything like that. But they were just so concerned. Is that the reason why she supposedly hired her own fire department? She was so concerned. It sounded like she was forewarned. You know what they say about being forewarned. Forewarned is forearmed. That's just how that works. That's the reason why it's called No Older Than Me. Yes, I'm older than you. Limited access. Not by much, though. Let's see. My garden is producing the nice tomatoes. I'm so glad that you guys are having tomatoes and stuff. It was too hot for down here. I'm still hoping that it'll like cool off enough and I'll actually have some before the winter hits, but... George. Welcome, George. And Span, you knew the Steely Dan song, too. All right. I always thought that was pretty funny. This is the day of the expanding man. Did they like foresee everybody just getting so fat and unable to move, or was that something else he was talking about? Actually, I think it might have had I think it might have had something to do with LSD or whatever it was, expanding the mind. Most Steely Dan music was either about sex or drugs. So, yeah. None of that would surprise me. Badass Brad Allen, welcome to the show. Dark Maga, welcome to the show. A couple of new faces in town here. Do appreciate you being here. Please make sure you share. Support the show. Muko, I love Muko. That is our kitty communicator, and I love kitties. As you know, I have a very cute one that chose me. Sometimes I wonder who got rescued, him or I. I think it was both. But yeah, you got Oprah and The Rock literally asking. Of course, you've seen the backlash. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the backlash. And of course, we're not monsters. We're not heartless. We're all aware of it. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to the folks in Maui, especially since we know this is just another one of those setups And of all the people, the indigenous people, they're doing it again to them. And not very many people are saying too much about it. I guess it's just a virtue signal when they talk about it from the, the 1600s, the early 1700s when we first got here. Yeah. In fact, it was kind of funny. I saw a video. I couldn't find it again. It just came to mind that this lady was at a comedy. She was a comedian or something like that. She stood up. She says, "Oh, at first, I just want to acknowledge that this stadium, this building is on some and such and 3 or 4 different indigenous type names, which she could have been making up. You never know." And the lady in the back goes, "Oh, well, should we leave now?" She goes, "Well, no." She goes, "Well, if we're on someone else's lands, shouldn't we?" "Well, the buildings," and she started arguing. "Oh, the building's already here. We just acknowledged it." And she's like, "Well, what good does that do?" So it was great. I like that. Wish I could find that again. Oprah and The Rock are so out of touch with real people. Yeah, they are. Well, again, they have been so revered that they think that they're better than everyone else. And, of course, they think that they're helping. Which, again, if their heart is in the right place, yeah, but no. Not if they're not actually donating their own money. They have pledged, from what I've read and from what I'm hearing and from what I'm getting ready to show you, they have pledged $10 million. But that's based on the fact of whether or not you and I donate that much. So this is actually what happened the first day that had came out. This young lady from Shipwreck Show. This is just something that came across my... Actually, I saw this on Element or the other one. So many to keep track of. But anyway, I've got a really cool memester here in Houston that I follow exclusively down here. But yeah, listen to this. This is the first day of this.
I have an update.
The People's Fund of Maui.
Oprah's video has been up for the majority of the day, raking in a good 400,000 views and a simply astonishing ratio, but has only managed so far to raise $3.44 thousand, with a good chunk of that being this anonymous donor up here. But look at this. This is from Dwayne Johnson's video with the little donor icon, and he has raised $1.66 thousand. So a total of about $5,000 with over 1 million views between the two of them. But look at this anonymous donor right here at $500. Anonymous donor my ass. That's them donating to their own fund to make it look legit. To maybe even dabble into your competitiveness to wanting to be the highest donor. Keep sharing the video and keep ratioing the shit out of them. And the comments did not disappoint. Listen, I have seen videos from people who are liberal with pronouns. I have seen videos from people from the right. I have seen videos from all people from all walks of life telling other people not to donate to this. We're going to make Oprah eat that 10 million. And let me tell you something else. There are more people out here who are awake than I think we even realize. If this had happened even maybe just 2 years ago, okay, everybody would have fallen all over it. They would have raised $10-20 million by the end of the day, and they barely broke 5,000. This is it. This is how we cancel them.
Indeed. Again, this is one of the things that came to mind. It's like, are we starting to eat them really? Because these people just act so worried. But I've been around long enough to know that this fund for nonprofits is nothing new, all right? Does anybody remember Farm Aid? Does anybody remember Live Aid? That was for the AIDS thing. Or even We Are the World. Does that ring a bell to anybody? Okay, so this has been happening since at least the 80s. This kind of thing with the celebrities and everything like that. And of course, that was about the time when everybody was real famous, MTV and all of that. And otherwise, regular people would have had to have just gone to concerts to see these people, or waited until they were on some late night talk show. But with the thing, cable TV, and then of course the videos and all that other stuff, a lot of things changed. We got to know these people a lot better, and I can see now, and I had seen back then, because I realized when I found out that these people actually were getting paid, they weren't actually volunteering their time like I did for charities. It was like, psh, that's when I told Madonna she could go to hell. That's when I told everybody else they could go to hell. After a while, I even stopped watching, what's his name? Robin. After a while, I even stopped watching Robin Williams movies. Of course, he did a lot of charity work too, but they all still had these contracts, and these people got paid, and they got enormous and exorbitant goodie bags. Some of them, when they started in with some of the videos and things like that, they got, well, they started explaining that kind of stuff, like when they started doing cribs and all the other stuff too. And then of course the internet, they brag all the time. You see Madonna dancing in her bathroom, it's so big, singing about fried fish. I actually kind of sort of wondered what she was on that day. Jerry Lewis telethon, yeah, that's a good example, Sparky. It's a good example. Because, I'll tell you, I'm going to show you the Wall Street expert on this, the lady expert on this. This is a little long, but it's extremely important. I'll try to skip through the unimportant parts if I can, because, warning, language, this lady doesn't hold back. Neither do most of us either, but just a warning.
Now, this woman has worked in fundraising for years, so she actually went through the receipts. So she's going to break down what this fund actually is, right? And I saw someone in the chat, I can't find it now. I saw someone in the chat said she is donating money. We're not saying she's not donating money. What I'm saying is she's a fucking billionaire. Period. I'm going to tell you right now, don't come in here defending Zopra's
Rich.
ass. Do not come in here defending fucking billionaires. This ain't the show for you. I keep it real right now. I'm going to let you know. This is not the show for you.
You heard that? Don't come in here defending billionaires. Again, nom nom, little by little.
You can skidoo. Moving on. This woman right here, she looked at the fund. And guess what she found out? This is why I say you do mutual aid, not charity. Listen to this.
I keep seeing videos about The Rock and Oprah raising money for the Maui Fund. My name is Ashley. I've been a professional fundraiser for over 20 years. I think like 25 plus at this point. Let me explain something to you. The word fund means that it is a fund or a bank account, if you will, inside of a nonprofit. A nonprofit is managing it. What nonprofit is it? I will tell you.
Pause. It is a non-profit that is managing this fund. Look at this.
20 years. I think like 25 plus at this point. Let me explain something to you. The word fund means that it is a fund or a bank account, if you will, inside of a nonprofit. A nonprofit is managing it. What nonprofit is it? I will tell you.
So, this is why I tell
Sabrina
you again,
Salvati
you have to be
is that girl's
careful
name.
about donating to these organizations. You can give that money directly to the people. Why is a nonprofit managing this?
They all
And
do.
I've worked, look, I've had my
You're gonna
experience with
find out in a
nonprofits. You got to be careful with those. So who's managing this fund?
The Entertainment Industry Foundation.
Haven't they been begging for money now for the last, 4 or 5 months? Since they've been on strike? Our programs harness the strength of the entertainment industry. Oh boy, like they're not already strong enough. They don't have enough influence.
This is a fund. The Maui Fund is within the Entertainment Industry Foundation.
The Entertainment Industry Foundation. Everybody see this?
Yeah, and how rich are most of those people? Although, I don't know, going on strike, and if they didn't have good money management and stuff like that, we might be seeing quite a few people having to greet at Walmart or some stuff. Won't that be delicious?
For the whack ass who came into the chat trying to defend billionaire Oprah, miss me with the bullshit. Let's keep it moving.
I read a lot of 990s on my page. I haven't in a while, but let's look at it. A 990 is the tax return, if you will, that every nonprofit has to submit, just like we submit our taxes. And every nonprofit's 990 is open for public inquiry.
Yep.
It literally says that on the 990.
The government actually wants you to point fingers at these people and try and catch them to do stuff. That's one of the reasons why they make them public. But also, too, since they're usually 501c3s are usually some kind of charity. A lot of people want to know where they're sending their money to too, and in some law. But there's other laws too that actually people don't realize even when they do the research on these charities.
Open for public inquiry. So let's inquire. When you go to the fund's website, they're saying that they're going to give $1,200 for each adult who lives in either Lahaina or Kula. I don't know what the duration of that $1,200 is, and then you also have to verify that you...
Pause. $1,200. $1,200.
The fund's website, they're saying that they're going to give $1,200 for each adult who lives in either Lahaina or Kula.
She actually complains about how expensive it is to live in Maui and it is to live in Hawaii. In fact, $1,200 won't even get you an apartment rent there, supposedly. Let's see.
We went over that on this show multiple times.
Yeah, I skipped that part.
So what are they supposed to do? They can use that to get food, to get some supplies.
Yeah, I guess they'll have to get a tent, huh?
After billions and billions of dollars have gone to Ukraine, $1,200 in Hawaii?
Hello, Skeletor. Welcome to the show.
Let's continue. There's more. Wait for it.
I don't know what the duration of that $1,200 is, and then you also have to verify that you actually live there. It could be a homeowner or a renter, but you cannot own property there and not live there. You're not going to be qualified. The form for residents to apply looks great. This is actually a really big deal to implement from a nonprofit perspective. The only thing I don't like, and all these nonprofits do this, none of your business. It's none of your business if anybody's receiving state or federal benefits. It's not your business.
Yeah, they ask for way too much information most of the time.
Here's more information about the fund. I love that they have an accessibility thing down here. You know, if you have trouble filling it out, you need help, you can call this number. That's awesome. Every single nonprofit, as long as they file their taxes, will have a 990 available. You can either go on the IRS website or you can go to ProPublica, which is my personal favorite. Do not go to any of these other websites, in my opinion.
She's getting ready to do the best part here.
Your address when this is publicly available information. And ProPublica doesn't bug me about that stuff. So this is their tax filing.
If you guys want to know, Publica is where you find this stuff.
These are the salaries of the executive.
All right. I can't really see this, and I can't really make it that much bigger. The very first salary is over $600,000. And every one of these salaries down here is six-figure, down to the secretary, down to the it looks like the stenographer even. All six-figure incomes. That right there is where your money goes in these 501c3s and these charities that manage these funds. Because now I don't know about all the states, but most state governments actually are on top of these 501c3s. They are in charge of them. They make all the rules. You have to follow the rules. That's why you still have a 990. They still require you to document everything. All right, but what I've found, because like I say again, I've done charities before. I used to do charity work for the POW MIAs, a lot of the Vietnam veterans and things like that, and other things, senior citizens, mostly military stuff, of course. But the one of the things about these charities, and you can look this up too, is that when you have a charity like this, you're only required by law to give like 5% of any of your proceeds that have come in. You still have to prove that you made the money, and you still have to prove that you spent all the money. You can't have a dime over or a dime less or anything like that. But charity-wise, you're only literally required to give 5% of your proceeds to whomever it is that needs it or that applies for it, which means they don't really help the people that they're funding for, if you will. So, and there's... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 people on this board with six-figure incomes. The least of which, it looks like the least of which is like $119,000. The first of which is over $600,000. From what little I can see on this thing, it's kind of blurry. So, yeah. I found out also too, like these celebrities not only get paid, but they get really expensive goodie bags, plus all the transportation, housing, per diems, and then they beg for money on others' behalf. I stopped following any of them. I really did. I shut off the MTV. I shut off all of that stuff. I stopped going to any of their concerts. And when you do a little bit of research like this lady did, you can see that the board or whomever is put in control of your money gets paid the highest salaries. And tell me, do you think that any of these people are in the office every day trying to fundraise or do anything, any actual work? No. It probably just goes into an account somewhere or stock and bond somewhere or whatever like that. It's residual income for these people. This is the reason why a lot of these rich people do this. They make it look like as if they're spending a lot of money and donating a lot of money, but if you look into it, they actually own or are a part of whatever this is, that the money just gets right back to them and they avoid their taxes. They get write-offs. Duraglass, Skeletor, welcome to the show. How many people do we have today? We got lots of new faces. 25. Wow. Okay. Well, don't forget, share. We want more people, and the phone lines are open. Call me. That ass Brad Allen. You gone fishing already? Oh yeah, hit that fire. Yes, hit that fire. Hit the like buttons. Give me comments. Give me phone calls. Has anybody tried to call yet? Because I'm not sure. Let me see here. Let me make sure. Absolutely sure. This thing's got a little meter on it that tells me. Okay. It can hear me. Doing well. Looks like everything's still in working order. I'm still watching my streams go. Everything is still working. I am so happy and impressed. Grandmother on my mom's side was half Pennsylvania Dutch. She taught my mom to make pork chops cooked in sauerkraut. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, that is delicious. Especially if the pork chops got a little crust on the fat. Oh. All right, don't make me hungry now. All right, and like I said before, I've done tons of charity work. I still actually do charity work. But I was also one of the IT personnel for a 501c3 that it wasn't necessarily a charity, but it was completely run by the state. And like I say, any of those tax forms and everything like that, they have stringent rules. The government does control these things. So how many people do you know won't cook them a little bit so they don't get in trouble with the government? But you know, why would they need to do that if they're paying themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to be a CEO of some company that just takes money in? That's basically all it does. All right. At the time I was doing the charities myself, I couldn't even write them off because of the way my tax stuff was going. Anyway, these charities by law, like I said before, are only required to give about a measly 5% of any intake of the actual that goes to the actual folks that need assistance. And usually, unfortunately, and I've seen this is actually, I did some charity work with Special Olympics too. They promised us the world, and we barely got dinner for an all weekend be available for shows and dances and stuff like that. It was not cool. They promised us all kinds of free advertising. They promised us that our names would be mentioned on their radio commercials and all of this stuff. I fell for that 2 years in a row. In fact, the first year I was like, okay. So when they called me up again, I said, oh, I got some stipulations. And they're like, oh, yeah. And it was the exact same thing. I feel so bad for those kids because, well, I feel bad for that community because, yes, they give some of the kids that do the exercises and the competitions, they make them feel good and everything like that, but they really are making a lot of money off of those folks as well. And they lie to their vendors and stuff like that too. So, like I say, the one place I was in the IT crew, we knew everything that happened. And in our case, what eventually happened is the boss, Lizzie Longtoes. Welcome, welcome, my famous friend. How are you? Thank you for being here. Let's see. In our case, let's see. The boss got busted by the state. Like I said, this stuff is all run by the state. You have to be pretty good on your paperwork and stuff like that. And they do audit you if you make over 2 to 3 million a year, I think something like that, you get audited every year too. So you got to be careful. But in our case, the boss got busted by the state buying shit that was against the state law. Had to keep the business open long enough to pay back this enormous fee. It was like over $1 million or something like that. Not long after the bust, and I mean within a month, this boss person then promptly handed it over to their second in line, third in line, I don't remember who exactly it was, promptly handed over to that person and disappeared. Probably with a whole bunch of money. That person always seemed to have a wad of cash on her. Yeah. Lizzie Longtoes says, me and Mom are good. She loves your show, Laura. She always reminds to look for your show. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mom. I appreciate you being here. Let's see, where was I? Okay. Yeah, she promptly disappeared after she got busted for this. And meanwhile, everyone else lost their jobs because the person that it was handed to wasn't very competent in doing very much at all. Unfortunately, that particular person, and I have a little bit of sympathy for her, but not much because of the way that she treated some of the people that didn't look like her afterwards when she took over. That person is stuck paying the government back now. They've literally made another slave to the system, in that aspect, if you ask me. And there's no telling. It's been almost 17 years now, I think, since that happened. And I think she still owes the government. I have no idea. I'm not bothering to keep it up. But I still have the paperwork from some of the things that happened there. And I could have gotten that company into seriously more trouble. The only thing that stopped me was the fact that it went under before I got a chance to, really. But you never know. One thing that these folks don't tell you about the non-profits is that they're heavily regulated by whatever state they're in. God forbid you have a national or international non-profit. You better have a whole team of lawyers for something like that, because government doesn't like not getting their cuts. And they will make up new tax laws, as we've seen, just to make sure that they get it at least 10 times or more on anything new. You see what they do. Imagine, this is the thing that kicks my ass about this too. We started a revolution over a 2-cent tax back in 76 or 74, whenever it was. Basically, the government gave a private company a monopoly so that they wouldn't fail, and imposed it on the American citizens at the time. Before we were still subjects of England at the time. But now we just keep accepting more and more and more taxes as we destroy each other over it. We got to get these assholes out of power. That's all there is to it. But I'm going to go on with other examples of how we seem to be starting to eat the rich. You know, that's been their mantra for a long time. Eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich. And it's usually a rich person that's talking to you or telling you to do that. So, and of course, don't forget the phone lines are open. And of course, don't forget to support the channel. Share, share, share. We need people out there talking, practicing, continuing to practice their First Amendment rights. Don't just give them up without opening your mouth once in a while. It's one of the things that compels me to keep doing this. All right, so how about this now? This is something else that makes me think this way as well. I found a website on TikTok, Cody90210. He's actually showing videos of all of these little neighborhoods in LA that are literally being shut down because of the theft, the crime, the policies, the things that are going on here. The one that smacked me the most here was the Beverly Hills one. R.I.P. Beverly Hills. Let's see if this pulls up so you can see it. Oh yeah, here we go. basically this kid goes around LA area and logs all of the places that have pretty much just said bye-bye. Let's see if this, come on. He's got R.I.P. Beverly Hills in this one. Was that just a picture? Okay, it was just a picture. No, it's a video. What is it going on here? Okay. Let's see if a refresh will help any. All right. All right. Robertson Boulevard. Chaser. Intermix. These are all places that are closed. Chanel. Georgetown Cupcake. West Sea. For lease. Nanette Lepore. That sounds like a boutique. Tory Burch. No idea what that is. Paul and Joe. Sounds like another boutique. The Couples. That looked exclusive. Duxiana. V Spring. Lemonade. R.I.P. Beverly Hills. Those were all smaller businesses except for Chanel and a couple of those others. The unfortunate part about a lot of this is the fact that along with the big rich companies, a lot of the smaller, poorer companies, or smaller, just they don't, not necessarily not rich, but the smaller companies, the smaller business people are getting hurt by this probably more because the bigger companies can actually close down and write a lot of this stuff off. The insurance will let them write a lot of this stuff off, especially with the laws now. But West Hollywood. Here's another one. Let's see. Hamburger Haven. Pump. That looks like a bar. Sir. I don't even know what that was. Millions of milkshakes. That's so bad. U.S. Bank. See, there's a big one. American Apparel. That's a big one. Revolver. That's a big one. Flaming Saddles. That looks like it's been there for a while. Bean Coffee. Eddie's Bank and Shop. Subway. That's actually a big company. 24 Hour Fitness. That's a big company. Starbucks. Power Zone. Those are big companies. Sprouts. Oh my goodness. They're not even that old. Sama Eyewear. Conservatory. So, yeah, these are all places that have closed down because of what's going on out there. So, again, these, especially in LA, you have to be pretty rich even to start any kind of a business or anything out there. And then, of course, you see the bigger businesses, the Chanel, the Nike, the Barnes and Noble, the Subway, these other big chains, the Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks. This is a company that literally, what was it, about 7 years ago now, started proclaiming that they were going to put refugees and anybody else that was not even supposed to be here illegally, hiring them over any American citizens. So, again, I have no sympathy. A lot of these people have brought this on themselves. However, like I said, these are the same people that you would hear telling everyone, we got to eat the rich. They've got to pay their fair share. Well, looks like it's backfiring on a lot of them. Like I say, the unfortunate part, though, is, like I said before, is the fact that it's affecting a lot of the small business people that are just trying to put their kids through ballet school or trying to feed their infants or trying to, raise their families and things like that and don't want to have to go 9-to-5 jobs, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, then they also, a lot of people do these businesses and things like that, too, to pass them on to their children so that they don't have to be slaves to some corporate office in a cubicle somewhere. Living paycheck to paycheck. That's supposed to be the American dream, if you think. Why should they continue to lose money? Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, a lot of times they can't, they're losing so much money, and some of these are the smaller businesses. There's no place for them to go. They've lost so much already. They've tried and tried and tried so hard to keep it going so often, so many times that there is no place for them else to go. And they are destitute by that time. I'm seeing a lot of that too. So yeah, a lot of places in LA, up and down the streets and everything like that. I think the only thing that's still open right now, and they're having problems, seeing problems on the edges of that now too, is Rodeo Drive. But it's almost completely closed down now, and I don't know how long is it going to be before it's going to be turning into one of those situations like Escape from New York. New York is already that way. In fact, that's the next thing. So you think You see all these stores that were all closed down and everything like that. Now, you think that maybe possibly why the jobs numbers aren't going anywhere right now or are down? I mean, forget the measly so-called inflation reduction thing, which you and I and others are getting wise to the fact that they are lying and have been lying about that for a long time anyway. But how many jobs are gone? Just in these few little areas. How many? I mean, there's got to be at least thousands. A couple thousand. And I'm telling you, he's going through Beverly Hills, West Beverly Hills. He went through Hollywood, Beverly Grove, Santa Monica, Venice, Rancho Park. This isn't just Hollywood. This isn't just LA. This is all the way out. This is all the way around. And of course, you hear Eric Adams. I'll get to him in a minute. That's another example, actually, that I have. Don't forget the phone lines are open. And don't forget, Joe Biden.
He doesn't stand for baloney.
Who can tell me where that comes from? Let's see. Let me check. I haven't been checking my chats here real quick. Once again, I want to welcome everybody. Kick, Odysee, Rumble, and YouTube, of course. Okay, everything's still there. All right, everything still seems to be working properly. Still, I gotta keep an eye on that stuff. Okay, so and who also too think about this as well. This is something else that I was thinking also too. Who owns these places, but who actually works in these places? In a majority of them, who actually works in a majority of these places? Students, and a lot of low-income family types, perhaps. So tell me again, how all the policies they keep insisting are working for us are working for us. You got empty, boarded-up buildings that nobody can work in. You've got buildings that had businesses in them that employed many, many people that aren't open. Where did these people go? What's happening to them now? All right. Now, I told you I was going to get to Eric Adams. Another example. This is another example that came to mind while I was thinking about this. Is that this is happening, and this is actually happening anywhere on Earth lately. There's been a majority Caucasian population. Refugees from some of the most brutal societies on the planet. And again, they're all men. So, and they claim to be coming from they're running away from these terrible, terrible wars. So, are these wars that they claim to be running from, are they killing off all the women before they come over here? Or are they leaving their families and their wives and sisters and mothers behind to be killed in these wars? I don't hear anybody asking that question either. They do say stuff about, oh, well, yeah, it happens to be all men, we're being invaded, and it's going to be them. But, really? So, we've got people now that don't belong here after they've been invited. Okay. I found somebody that did a before and after about Eric Adams with regards to migrants, to put it politely. When I was growing up, they were illegal aliens, and a lot of them were so afraid to get caught that they didn't do near what you see them doing now. They had respect for the country, at least, or they at least faked it. But yeah, here is your New York mayor, another one that lied to you to get into office, but he didn't lie about this part, I don't think. Well, maybe.
The mayor of the city of New York, I don't, weigh into immigration issues, border issues. I have to provide services for families that are here, and that's what we're going to do. And that's what our responsibility as a city. I'm proud that this is
our responsibility as a city. See, they always include everyone in, like, we're always right there with them. This is the language they use, and I was talking about this last week too. They either use our or we or us, like when they're talking to you, like as if you're part of it, like as if you just automatically agree with him and everything like that. And nobody says, you know, I'm always, my question is, what's this we shit? You're supposed to be telling me what you're going to be doing for me. You work for me, man. I don't have a problem helping, but not if it's not something I don't want.
The right to shelter state, and we're going to continue to do that. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
Ooh. That's not very
One
many at
time
all.
we were just in Venezuela. Now,
That's what? 10%, 1% of what we get down here in Brownsville, down in South Texas? Don't we get over 100 to 200,000 a month? So yeah, you're lucky, dude. You're lucky. That's all you get. try coming down here and dealing with what we deal with down here. In fact, I would venture to say that he doesn't have to see half of what we see down here, especially with the child trafficking and the garbage and the crap that they leave when they're going through here.
now we get Ecuador. Now we get Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we get Western Africa.
Wait. Doesn't that sound a little xenophobic to you? Yeah, he's naming off all these people that we can't have them here. You know, you're a sanctuary city. Now all of a sudden, these certain people aren't welcome, dude.
Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. As the mayor of the city of New York, I don't, weigh into immigration.
So yeah, he is basically seeing what happens when you break federal law to spite a president or a politician or constituents that you don't like or agree with. Shut everybody out and do it your own way. That's fine. But you know what? A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, don't come running to me for help now. I'm here." In fact, everybody says Tim Pool's a fence sitter. Well, if you catch him in enough times, he is really not. And he actually covered this himself, and he was hollering. He says, "I have no sympathy for you people. You voted for this. We tried to warn you." I mean, he was yelling. "I have no sympathy. Don't come running to us for this now." I was like, whew, that's not a fence sitter in my opinion. He says, well, it just makes me angry because of the fact that these people are, they'll break these laws and they'll do this stupid shit and then they expect us to pay for it when it goes wrong. Doesn't sound like much of a fence sitter to me. You guys need to start paying attention to him again. He's not, he tries a little bit hard to do that, but he does get in there sometimes. He was on today. He was definitely on today. Eric Adams is a sanctuary city mayor. You shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah. Well, thank you, Limited Access, for the library coin for the cause. Happy Hunger Games. May the odds ever be in your favor. As they make the odds not in anyone's favor except for theirs. De Kaiser says, "I've been in India and the best advice I was given was don't eat or drink anything that is not sealed." That's actually the same advice I would give you going to China as well. They definitely have no quality control, especially when it comes to their own foods. In fact, that's a majority of the people, the locals there, eat off the street vendors now. And they did back then, too, when I went there. I went to China. I used to love New York City. Wouldn't go within 500 miles of it now. I never did like New York. It was too noisy, I didn't like all the concrete. In fact, I went when I was really, really little. I was only about 7 years old. And the thing that I remember is the big, tall... I don't remember what park it was in, but I know it was in one of the boroughs. But it was a big, tall swing set, and the whole playground was nothing but concrete. There was no grass. There was no trees. It was just swing sets and monkey bars and stuff and concrete. I do remember that from my. It almost nowadays seems like it was a dream or something like that. But yeah, no, yeah. So, this is what you get when you blatantly break a federal law just to spite President Trump and these terrible, terrible, terrible folks like you and me that just want these people to come here legally. You can come here. You know, and of course, we think this way because the common sense tells you that if they do come here legally, we know what to expect and be prepared for them to be here. This is one of the things he's complaining about. These guys are showing up and we have no place to put them. Why? Why did you make yourself a sanctuary city and not be prepared for that? You know why? It's because of the fact that they didn't think that we were going to take them up on their offer. This is another thing that these lefties do sometimes. They'll offer you something with absolutely no intention of giving it to you. And then when you ask for it, it's like, well, I didn't promise you that. They're biggest narcissists in the world, if you ask me. But yeah, we need to start holding them accountable. Don't offer us stuff that you don't plan on giving us. You know? Of course, a lot of people still vote for them, too. Some people just don't learn. So, we also, like I say, we would also be able to vet those that should and shouldn't be here. But that would make too much sense. And they want to be able to blame those of us that demand legal entry for crimes against humanity. All right, phone call. I recognize the phone number here. This looks like limited access.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Greetings.
It is.
Welcome to the show.
I wanted to come. Hey, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Been really busy the last few days. Was sick for a couple of days, and once I started feeling better, I'm like, hey, I got to get off my butt and get some stuff done. Had a bunch of zucchini that I purchased some at the farmer's market, been purchasing it, and now people are giving it to me because I'm dehydrating it. So I'm just like, oh my God, please stop. Stop. And my dehydrators are not that big.
Oh, and what is it that they're giving you?
Zucchini.
Oh, zucchini.
And squash.
Oh,
That's
yum.
coming in like crazy. And cucumbers are coming in like crazy here right now. Tomatoes are pretty much too, but I found like the cherry tomatoes are the ones that my dehydrators are like Nesco dehydrators. They're the air dehydrators. I can't afford one of them fancy freezer dryer ones, or I would have one. Plus, I don't have the room. Not really. They're kind of big. But, but the big tomatoes, don't bother. Y'all, don't bother. They take so long to actually get dry, you burn them because there's so much sugar in them. That's what I'm finding.
Interesting.
Because somebody gave me a bunch. So I went and tried to dehydrate them, and they took a long time, and they burned. So I've got some that are set aside that are going to kind of be, fire roasted.
Me, I would have made sauce.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I would have made sauce and canned the sauce.
I just haven't felt well enough, and I haven't had the time, and I'm just, it's just crazy
dehydrated tomatoes don't sound that great to me. They're mostly water anyway.
Actually, the cherry ones, when you slice them, and you slice them like on like you would slice a tomato if you're putting a tomato on a sandwich, and you slice them. You don't even have to slice them terribly thin, and you can put the ends in. Those dehydrate beautifully, and then they come back beautiful.
Oh, okay.
They're great in omelets. They're great in sauces, but anything other than a cherry tomato, I'm meh. And I called you because I was going to comment on this Eric Adams and their mess going on there. They don't have anywhere to put anybody up in, yet they have all these warehouses and all of these. They've got 13,000 apartments that are vacant that nobody will rent because they're fleeing. They're fleeing. So, why don't the city just, pay for them to live there? Why don't the city make them freaking work? Hey, I watched Pinball Prep. Pinball Prep today said that he did some research, and apparently these people are coming in. They may be a family, they may not be, but they get more money for being a single parent. Mm-hmm. So they'll split up the family. The mom will say she's somebody, the dad will say they're somebody, they're single parents, whatever. And between the two of them, they can make $58,000 for the year. with the free phones and the free food and the free housing and the free. Oh, dude, in my best year, I didn't make $58,000 being a single parent. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that was...
Yeah, think about this, too. In the meantime, these are the same people that wanted us to pay if we didn't have insurance. Now they're just giving it to them.
Exactly. It's such a scam. I mean, I hate to say this, and I don't mean to be a black pillar, but honestly, the only way that we're going to get right again, if we can get right again, I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, probably not, but it's to tear this place down and build it back MAGA.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know,
we were trying.
Well, and we're getting there. I mean, we're waking up more people, and things are going on. And
well, that's kind of what my show's about. Yeah, that's kind of what my show's about tonight too. Like I say, with a lot of these things, if you look at it in such a way, we are starting to eat the rich, just like they said. So, and the fact that they're panicking like they are, and the things I'm fixing to show you, tells me that we actually are. That's the reason why I came up with this show tonight. Yeah, we are. I mean, it's and one of the points that somebody I was watching today, and I don't know if it was Russell Brand or whoever, he was talking about, well, they're letting all these people in, and when you see a Hispanic person, a Latino, you look at them a little different now. Just like, you know, when Obama was in office, what he did with the racial division, they're sowing it big time. Because I do, and I admit it. I live in northern South Dakota. There's been very few Mexicans, Caribbean people from Haiti, et cetera, living this far north, and just a little bit further south than me. And then an hour south of me, there's more Hispanic people than I've ever seen ever before. And I've been here. And I don't go down there very often, but I've been down there. But I've been here since 2018. And believe me, I lived in southern Colorado for 12 years. I know. Mm-hmm. I know. And I lived in Minneapolis for 12 years, and I know. So, yeah. But, I look at them a little bit different. So, you know, you got to think of it. Creating a racial divide with us and how many million people coming in? Right. Well, that's why I say the mayor's talking about if they get 10,000 a month. Well, how about us down here that gets 100,000, 300,000 a month?
Or more. It's crazy between and you know, it's all the way around the coast. They're coming in from everywhere. They're coming in from Baja. They're coming in from. Now I saw something on TikTok. It was YouTube, but it was a TikTok thing. Mexico's building a wall. Y'all, Mexico's building a wall so these schmigas don't jump back over the border when the dollar collapses, because Mexico's rolling the dice saying the dollar's going to collapse. What does that tell you? It tells you get prepared. Get prepared, y'all. Be prepared. I'm not prepared in the electric department and somewhat in the water. I mean, I am somewhat in the water, but the electric, we lose electricity. There's not a whole lot I can do. We're going out to the farm, I guess, and he'll build something.
Yeah.
But
Muko says, Muko fought for food stamps in South Dakota and some medical insurance. Immigrants get lots of free stuff all the time. They are coming and going from the Social Security place and job center. Muko can confirm South Dakota and such is full of immigrants compared to the old days.
Ask Muko if he's down really south, a little bit further. Well, I know he's somewhere here. I mean,
South Dakota is a sanctuary state. They have been moving them here since the early 2000s.
No, South Dakota is not a sanctuary state. No, Kristi Noem said, don't come here unless you come here legally. So if that's the case and he's somewhere in South Dakota, Muko, give me a little chat thing. Let me know where you're seeing this, and we should contact Christy Nome because she has been staunch on, we're not dealing with it.
Muko says Muko says very south and that Christy is a rhino.
Well, I got family that knows Christy that don't like her too much, so he's probably right. Yeah, very, very south. Yeah, if you're towards Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, oh yeah, that area down there, which was what I was talking about, it's blue.
Christy nepotism.
Yeah. Well, I have family that actually knows her from growing up with her, so yeah. Yeah, so South Dakota ain't that big of a state. But hey, I just wanted to call about that. I don't want to take up the whole time here, and somebody else needs to call in and discuss things. But I'm just saying to y'all, hey, get as prepared as you can. Oh, and by the way, one of the other things I wanted to say, I went to Walmart today and I was, checking all the lower prices and clearances and stuff like that, and I wanted to pick up some fish because it's got the omega-3s and some of the stuff you need. They say you should have it at least once a week or twice a week or something.
Right.
So I'm checking some of that out, and they had some tuna that they had, in the little pouch thing, the sucked up little Mylar pouch thing, for a decent price.
The vacuum pack, yeah.
Right. And it was like wild caught. And it was like, only sea salt in with it. I was cool with that. 98 cents. I was cool. I went and started checking the dates, and there was a whole sleeve of it that was like dated 4/26/21. And I went, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I went behind it, and I got the ones that were dated like yesterday.
Huh.
Okay, yesterday, so I'm okay with that. I bought them for 98 cents.
Usually if something's vacuum packed, you don't have to worry about it going bad.
It's 21. It's 23 already. So, no, I'm not going to buy fish like that. No.
Yeah,
so there was a gal who was doing the shop around thing, and I said, hey, you might want to take this and go toss this because these are 2+ years out of date, almost 3 years. And she said, oh, so she went and set it on another show. Somewhere out around the corner. I don't know. Anyways, check your dates, guys. I mean, especially when you're buying stuff at Walmart and on clearance. I've been catching a lot of places when they lower the price or put it on clearance or whatever, it's out of date, which, I mean, is fine. But as long as it's not too far out of date, couple almost 3 years, 2.5 years, that's a little far for fish. As far as I'm concerned, because I might store it another year. I don't want.
You might have been able to jerk it, make it into jerky.
Fish?
Yeah.
Tuna fish?
Oh, tuna. Oh, I don't know.
No, this was tuna fish in one of them little pouches.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay,
anyway.
that kind of tuna fish. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want that too far out of date.
I thought it was like
I
thought it was like a fillet or something like that. That's actually tuna fish in a can like that to me is cat food.
Not in a can. It's in one of them pouches, like them special pouches.
Yeah, same thing.
For one. Pouch for one, a meal for one.
Yeah, same thing
Sometimes
as they used
not
to put in the cans. That's
yeah, sometimes the old man's not home and I want a tuna fish sandwich, There you go. Anyhow, I'll talk to you later. It was good talking to you.
Thanks for calling.
All right, bye.
Bye. Good night. All right, that was limited access, everybody. The phone lines are open. Right. That right there. Okay. Where were we? All right. We were talking about Mayor Eric Adams. But yeah, it sure is funny. This is what he asked for. And of course, they all of the ones that sanctuary cities, especially back before Biden got in office again, it was all to flip off Donald Trump. Oh no, I'm not going to follow any federal laws because of Donald Trump. He was just the president at the time. This stuff was already in force. So yeah, but because they didn't like who the president was at the time, decided that they were going to break the law, and now they're paying for it and trying to blame who they wouldn't follow in the first place. Trying to blame the laws that they wouldn't follow in the first place. All right, so we even have... Where in the heck did that one go now? We even have gamers. I put that in the wrong spot. Yeah, we even have gamers now that are hollering about this stuff that the 1% have been pushing on us and our kids.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that.
This is a gamer
Bethesda.
Now.
There is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company! Fuck your immersion, fuck you having a good time, fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no! Current fucking day! Fuck off! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing. I just want to say...
Yes! 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 In fact, this is this the beginning? Let's see. No, this isn't the beginning of more like this. However, this is the kind of thing that even the gamers are going in on this now, too. They find out something like this, they want their money back. And you know that these games are big business. A lot of these games are big business. The EA Sports and whatever. I don't know what an RPG is. I think that's that one where you like fight things through a path. It's like the new versions of what was that Trail Rider or something like that, where you have died of dysentery, and it was just you had to type in different instructions and stuff and try to guess what kind of language it would take. Toys is bad mad is bad. Toys is badass. I'm booted from his channel because some faggot mod who told me I can't use caps. Oh, okay. So this is somebody that you guys know then. I didn't know who he was. He's just somebody that came across my feed, and he didn't seem happy. And like I say, it's because of the fact that they're injecting politics into everything. You can't go and see a movie anymore. You can't read a book anymore. You can't talk on the internet anymore. You can't go to church anymore. You can't do anything anymore without some kind of political nonsense being thrown into it. And you get more and more people that are saying this because it's like your entire life should not be politics. We have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to love, we have to procreate, we have to, all this other stuff. None of that stuff should be political. None. Not one little bit of it. Saw a snippet of the game and the pronouns. It's fucking lame and insulting. Sigh. What game was that? What game was that? Toys? Does he have another channel too? Permaban from Haw Toys. He does have more than one channel. Okay. Banned from Fox Den on Telegram. Okay. So you guys know who this guy is. So, and I was going to say, this seems like, I know a lot of gamers, and most of them are laid back. They just want to go back and do the thing, and my nephews are all gamers. They play against their uncles in the Star Wars and everything. They build their things and everything like that. Not once does anybody ask, oh, what gender are you, or what this are you, or are you transitioning, or are you... Nothing. None of this stuff has anything to do with any of this stuff. So, and this is what I've been saying. More and more and more people need to start saying, fuck off. You want to start lecturing me about this stuff, whatever like that? Fine. Go talk to your friends. Go talk. But I'm not listening. I'm not playing your game. And in fact, my thing is the fact that, you can do what you want. You got free will. But I follow and have a father that doesn't allow me to play with you. I can love you from afar, and I can hope that you change your ways and all this other stuff. All I can do is plant the seed. But I'm not allowed to play with your reindeer games, and I won't. But I'm not going to lie to you about them either. That's part of being loving. Enabling is not love. He's a part of the Geeks and Gamers crew, and he has another channel. Okay, good. I inadvertently, accidentally picked out somebody that you guys could relate to and knew. I didn't know if you had seen this clip of him or not, but again, this is something I've been telling people, trying to get people to do for a while now. In fact, I can remember some of the times going through and hearing some of this stuff up to 10 years ago and remembering, fuck that. No, So... All right, what next? All right, when the folks in power realized that they can't convince us anymore, they started to insult us, try to shame us, and of course, the ever-repeated divide and conquer strategy. Now, of course, as the biggest example being Trump and his peers, they're using lawfare to smear, to smear, belittle, and criminalize those that have been warning you against this very thing. They're proving us right. They keep telling us, oh, this is never going to happen. This isn't happening. And look over there, instead, while it's happening right in front of our eyes. But then they tell us, well, who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes? Well, guess what? My eyes ain't lying. It's one of those things. A lot of this stuff also, too, and you guys know this, too, and are probably here because of this. Once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. Once you're being shown this stuff, once you realize this stuff, I mean, how many people have you seen that have gone over back to the other side besides stupid Hunter Avalon? And actually, he he wasn't on that side to begin with. For some stupid reason, he got talked into it. But the reason why I call him stupid Hunter Avalon is because of the fact that Tim Pool and his crew was able to take him and Vosh apart at the seams almost immediately, just showing them stuff that they hadn't seen before. And that they were talking out the side of their neck, that they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Then when they saw it, they were like, oh. But they were still trying to pass it off like as if they knew better. Still watch Sunday Night Mario Kart, and Eric July is the guy who I becomes friend with on Facebook. Yeah, Eric July, I like what he's doing. I wish I was into comics. I would support him more, but I'm not into comics, so. But there seems to be more and more hope. It was like Limited Access said. It's like I'm showing you now with regards to the fact that they've been telling us that for so long that we need to go after the rich. We need to go after the rich. We're going after the rich. We're going after the rich. And we find out that that's never the case. So a lot of people are waking up, just like that young lady said about the Oprah thing and the fund that they're trying to get you to fund while they take the credit for pledging $10 million. This is the way we cancel them. And yes, in my opinion, it's eating the rich. I hope that they start getting some of the same punishments we do, or having to do some of the same shit that we do. You noticed that a lot of the people that are coming out against this are also saying that Oprah was the one that was going around and asking people and trying to get people to sell their land. These people, indigenous people that have been there for eons. But again, it's one of those things where I think the government doesn't get enough money, because just like in the Ninth Ward during Katrina, they blew up that thing and flooded all the Ninth Ward out. It's because of the fact that a majority of those houses were over 100 years old and they'd been passed down. The only thing that they could get out of them was a little bit of property taxes. There was no mortgages. This all stuff had been passed down. And these properties were actually worth quite a bit of money based on where they were located at. Salty was talking about Nintendo 64 earlier. Was okay. Actually, my husband started his repair business with the Commodores and the Nintendo repairs. There wasn't anybody else doing it at the time. And so he got so popular with it that the company actually got in touch with him, and he became a company, or he became a certified repair person or something like that, or service center. They paid him to repair them, and if they were like still under warranty, and so did the people. But you got more people coming out and doing things like this, which is what we need. This poor guy.
Not a single person has been held accountable. Our so-called leader can't seem to even utter their names in public. Not even once. Mr. Biden has run his entire political campaign for 50 years as the family man.
This is the hearings with regards to the withdrawal of Afghanistan, the failure of the withdrawal in Afghanistan. This is a Gold Star father, Mr. Schmitz.
Well, I've got news for you, sir. The curtain has been lifting, and that campaign slogan will never work again. We have seen what's going on in your family, and even worse, we've seen how you've been treating us as Gold Star families. And there couldn't be anything more disgusting and cowardly than the way you have treated us. You are a disgrace to this nation. You have no business having ultimate command over our military, and I regret not saying that to your face when I had the opportunity in Dover. I felt it more important to bite my tongue, but I also had more important things on my mind at that time, like receiving my son's lifeless body stateside. Well, I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch over and over again.
Yeah, that was a disgrace. Who the hell did he think he was fooling with that?
All I wanted to do was shout out, "It's 2:30, asshole." But out of respect to the other grieving families, I bit my tongue once again. Well, as you could probably tell by now, I'm done biting my tongue.
Indeed.
You, sir, stole their lives, their futures, their dreams, and have ripped apart 13 families. You cannot even man up and admit that.
Nope, they're still calling it a
success. You, sir, gave us all the title Gold Star family. You, sir, discredit honor and integrity.
How to open your...
Actually, that was over. That was the end of that one anyway. But I'm wondering how long it takes them before they start looking through his safe. Here's another one. Here's another one. This person calls herself the Trump Ninjas. Ninjas for Trump. You guys will love this.
Just for Trump to enter the chair, it's about to be a situation. Come here, baby ass. Move the hell out of my way, Ollie. Listen, give me a Democratic Party. Scoot your ass to the front. Yeah, See, this problem is happening because of y'all. Yeah. We're sick of this shit. The ninjas done jumped up off the damn slave ship. Ha! Now sit your ass right here and let me get up in your face and say what I need to say. This is what happens when you lie to people for 50 fucking years. Yeah, I'm born from the Moses tribe. I honestly do believe that because I said, Democratic Party, let my people go. For way too long, you motherfuckers, oh yeah, that's right, I'm born from the Bernie Mac tribe too. You motherfuckers been lying to us over and over and over and over again. We sick of it. This has been the dream of mine. Martin Luther King Jr. said that he had a dream that all the crooked roads would be laid straight. Yeah, we see through y'all bullshit. This race rhetoric bullshit that y'all been doing for years and years and years. Keeping us divided. No, we together now, God's people. This is what happens when God used y'all evil, badass self for good. Ha! That's God's plan, baby, and y'all can't do nothing to stop it. Because we said what we said. Ha! Ninjas for Trump. Not Cheeto Pop. Cheeto Pop 2025, ho! Ninjas for Trump. Yes! I love it.
You know, one of the comments on there was, if you saw the man in the back, he just didn't say anything. In fact, what was the comment? Pay careful attention to the man hidden in the back saying nothing. This man is smart. You see, a smart man realizes that if a woman collectively focuses their truth beams on the enemy, there is no stopping any of us. So, yes, like I say, I guess you could say I'm starting my more like this. But now, this one I found intriguing because I was actually able to commiserate with it at first, but wait till the end.
Does this sound abusive to you? My friend's husband won't let her visit any friends or family. He has made her stop all contact with them, unless it's by phone or computer. He reads and censors her comments on social media. He makes her feel like she's going crazy for thinking that he's controlling, and that she's being ungrateful. After all, he's only doing this because of how much he cares for her. He doesn't want her going to the gym anymore, so she doesn't go. He doesn't want her to go to work anymore, so she doesn't go. He told her, you gotta rely on me for income. Okay. He doesn't let her go out anymore unless it's for necessities. And when she does, he makes sure that he has people in place to guilt trip her about it. He wants her to have a medical procedure done, and if she does it, she'll have more freedoms. And to top it all off, he's always telling her he's only doing this because he cares. Oh wait, did I say husband? I meant government. Here's the funny thing in society. You're all outraged if we do this to a spouse, but when the government does it, you're completely okay with it. Pull your head out of your ass.
But of course, you know, Biden doesn't.
He doesn't stand for baloney.
So yeah, how profound. I like it when people are able to compare things like this, and that's exactly what they did to us. It's exactly what they're trying to do to us again. Do not comply. Yeah. Now, I guess some more ideas of this concept that I've come up with as far as we're eating the rich now is they kept pushing this too. I mean, how many times did you hear stars? They would even wear it on their T-shirts. Eat the rich and all this other stuff. Ocasio-Cortez, a brand new politician, millionaire, or whatever it is she is already out there. Eat the rich, as if she's actually going after the rich. Sounds more like she's going after being rich. Anyway, like I say, that they keep pushing of eating the rich, while being rich might include like Hollyweird. They're still shut down as far as I know. Still no one missing them, while they beg us to love them again. And you notice that they're the 501c3 that's handling the Oprah thing for Maui. So yeah, they're not hurting for anything. Just the attention that they vie for. They can't handle not being told how great they are anymore. Anyway, lame, light. I was gonna say they're begging us to love them again, enough to give them money too. Still, and lame late night collab. Anyone? You saw this with the 5 guys of late night that getting together for a podcast, and they're like the other guy, the gamer said, boring, lame and boring. And here's something that boggles my mind, especially since they're all on strike out there, and this was supposed to affect them too. How in the world is the Spew not being accused of being scabs right now? They, like I say, they're back on the air again, as you can see, but I guess you have to be spewing the message. Whoopi all of a sudden has COVID again and is in a mask when they're talking to them, and them begging you not to even think of voting for anyone but Biden this time around. Another example of us eating the rich would be the all the talking heads that now do not have contracts at MSNBC or NBC or CNN, all these guys that have gotten fired and not with them anymore, like Limon and Stelter and all of those guys. They're pretty rich. They make millions of dollars a year for being a TV personality or whatever like that. In fact, I think Rachel Maddow, Jimmy Dore said something about Rachel Maddow is making like $14,000 a show. Like I say, this is what I say. I think that's another example of how we're beginning to eat the rich, because they're the other ones. They get on the talking heads and they spew this propaganda about we're going after the rich. We need to make them pay their fair taxes. We need to and we're going to do that. And no, they never have. And these are the same people that we never will. The rich are telling you that they're going after the rich. How true do you think that actually is? They might be going after them for some networking so that they can all get richer. But they sure the hell ain't going after them to help us out any. Or to do it instead of making us broke. Alright? All of those overpaid virtue signaling while bragging executives from the various tech companies that are laying folks off left and right now. I saw a chart. Facebook laid off over 10,000. Google laid off over 8,000 or something like that. So yeah, a lot of these people are getting laid off. I think they're taking after Elon Musk. Basically, he got rid of 80% of his staff. They were so overstaffed. So I don't think he's worried too much about losing money. Let's see. And did I miss anyone here? Oh, don't forget also too, I see a boycott and possibly a big loss of money to that safe company that gave the FBI the passcode to get into this guy's safe that was supposedly involved in J6 somehow or another. He'll never see those guns again. And actually, from what I've been told and what I've been reading, this safe company is not just a little dinky safe company. These are expensive safes that you'd be using to take care of expensive guns, things like, hunting, things like that, stuff like that. So yeah, the safe company that revealed that it can betray you and your Second Amendment rights at any time it sees fit as well. I do expect them to be getting a boycott treatment. People are calling for it, and that's going to be another rich company that's at least going to feel a little bit of pain, I hope. So yeah, they've essentially named themselves, in my opinion, they've named themselves as our enemy now. Oh, and who can forget the almighty that has fallen, Bud Light. As another way of us eating the rich, if you will. Baby steps. I know that it's not doing too well. It's not doing as well as we'd like it to, but it is making an impact. People are waking up. People are seeing this. The unfortunate part, once again, is that it is affecting the smaller businessman, but unfortunately, you got to take the bad with the good sometimes. Our main goal is to stop making corporations people. Of course, that's a law thing. We have to change the law. All right. And of course, after all of this stuff, you have people like Joy Behar, and I made this, but I couldn't resist because, well, she starts in with this.
I'm begging you, don't vote for him. I'm begging you, don't vote for him.
Come on, can't you work any better than that?
I'm begging you, don't vote for him. I'm begging you, don't vote for him.
She was basically talking about the fact that it's Donald Trump's fault that we're having all of this torrid weather because he doesn't believe in climate change. Almost the same superstitious bullshit that they pulled with Bush, that he just lifted his hand up and made Katrina go to the space that he didn't like, or people that he didn't go and make trouble for the people that he didn't like, as if he had that kind of power. And it's funny also too now. This is one of the main ones that perpetrates a lot of this crapola that they want to impose on us, like the global warming and the trans activism and all this other stuff. And it's funny how that their mantra went from, if you vote for him, you're a bad person, to, oh my gosh, please don't hurt me anymore by not doing what I've been telling you to do. Please, please. They're begging us now. Hashtag no amnesty. I don't care how much they beg, and I don't care how nice they are now. I won't forget how they tried to demonize us to the point of where we belonged in prison somewhere because we refuse your jab. All right. Is this it? Okay. Something that came across my feed. I want to know. I have seen people do mukbangs, but I've never seen anybody eat this. Would you eat this? Oh, look at the teeth on that thing. You stick it in your mouth and they'll bite you. Yeah, no. Would you guys eat that? Something like that? It's almost as bad as the bugs. All right. My segment. Oh, just in time. My segment, more like this. Actually, it's been pretty successful, and I've been finding, like I say, and it goes perfectly with Are We Eating the Rich, because the things that we're doing to each other is actually another thing that's helping a lot of this stuff backfire. And even if these people aren't rich, they're being encouraged by the rich to do this stuff so that they can maintain power. I like this. Thieves getting fucked. Intruders break into a man's home and find out. Bye. You can hear somebody screaming in the background. But yeah. Fafo, baby, Fafo. Alright, the next one. Like I say, more like this. Everyone is tired of these fake science climate activists too. They are doing nothing. In fact, I don't understand why we can't get it through their heads that they cause more problems by backing up traffic and making these people run their engines for longer than they would any other time. Awareness is one thing, but it gets ridiculous when you actually cause it and don't even realize. You're stupid enough not to realize that you're causing more CO2 emissions by doing this crap. Not to mention the people that you hurt that might have emergencies. But I like what people are starting to do to these fuckers. Block the road, expect a problem. People need to get to work. People don't care about your gobbledygook, especially in England and New Zealand and places like that where you guys don't even create 0.1% of any of this problems. All right? You want to create an impact, go to India, go to China and go protest this stuff. Go close down their streets. Go close down their factories that are dumping shit in the air and shit in the water. Your country is, in fact, the stats here in America show that our emissions have gone down 30% in the last 10 years because we're conscious of this. We don't need you fuckers to keep reminding us. In fact, I was really glad to see what they did to the people that were blocking the street out in the middle of the desert in Arizona towards Burning Man. And actually, I had a discussion with somebody about it. We were talking about it, and it's actually the people that would go to Burning Man were actually the ones that were... They're eating each other, too, as far as that goes. And I've seen how expensive it is to go to Burning Man. But it's like I said before, Burning Man, just the name of it connotates Satan to me. And then when I find out all the stuff that goes on there, sounds like one of the pagan rituals or one of the satanic rituals before we got sophisticated or civilized. More like this. This is something that the leftists don't want to see. This is the Japanese for Trump. These guys are in New York. Check this out. Let's give it a reboot here. I don't know what's happening. Look at this crowd. These are all Japanese Americans. You don't see one Japanese flag in this bit. You also don't see any pride flags or any of that other stuff either. These folks came here for the opportunities. They love America. Now, some of their language is they still write in Japanese and everything like that. But again, you don't see any of their flags. Well, there's one flag. But he's carrying 2 American flags with him too, so... Yeah, look at this crowd, though. Look at how many of them there are. East Asia loves Trump. A lot of them. They're trying to tell you, we felt bad for the weather, but maybe God's trying to say something that they had to starve or help each other starving themselves. Well, it's like I say, it's one of those things where also too, this kind of situation right here should tell them, especially if they're environmentalists, should actually tell them that there is no controlling the weather. You're not going to control the climate. You're not going to control all of this other stuff. Because, I mean, for Christ's sake, this was out in the desert, out in the middle of a desert. And they even said that this was an unusual storm. That just tells me that anything can happen at anywhere on this earth. You're not going to be able to control it. Most of the time, you can't even predict it. But I also think it might have possibly been a situation where they're trying to, where our God is trying to won't be mocked. Because like I say, it was a lot of paganism. It was a lot of dancing around naked. It seemed like a lot of orgies. It seemed like a lot of, I don't know. Just not something that interests me. I don't want to hang out with these people. So, and like I say, it just seemed like a lot of debauchery. And the name itself, if that doesn't connotate Satan to you, I don't know. I don't know what would. Burning Man. Isn't that what Satan wants to do? Burn men? Burn us. I can predict it. I have a weather rock. Isn't that actually the forecast? If it's wet, it's raining. If it's to the side, it's blowing. If it's gone, there was a tornado or something like that. That's cute. All right, more like this. This chick, I don't know what gets into these people. She sees a cop car and decides to do this stupid shit.
Yeah, you were trying to be. What the? Did you see? Ma'am. What?
And then she's gonna try to run.
Oh, she crazy. She trying to have her weekend be messed up.
Get out, please. I need to talk to you about this.
Cuff her. Cuff her.
What are you doing? She asked.
Oh, he's cuffing the door.
What does it look like he's doing?
To the cart. Good.
Oh, don't do that. Oh.
Good. That's what she deserved. That's exactly what she deserved. She's lucky we didn't do more.
I know. You should be arrested.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Yeah, you should be. What?
That's vandalism right there. So, yeah. Bohemian Grove for the unenlightened. Okay. Yep. So yeah, this I like to say this is this is a section of more like this. We need more women like this too. We need more mamas, mama bears coming out. Like I say, another way of us eating the rich. A lot of these board members and everything like that have all the money too. That's why they're in the positions they are. Probably paid for a lot of those spots.
So I filed the first federal lawsuit against woke indoctrination in America, in Nevada. And I live here now. And if my daughter is taught CRT at all, I will sue you. So I filed the first federal lawsuit against woke indoctrination.
No, these videos work any other time.
In America, in Nevada. And I live here now. And if my daughter is taught CRT at all, I will sue you. If my daughter is taught SEL at all, I will sue you. I am encouraging every parent I know to sue you. To sue every teacher, principal, every system, everybody up the chain. Because we're tired of y'all. I do not want my child to be taught that just because she's black and a woman, she ain't gonna make it. I do not want my child to be taught that she needs to express herself sexually in her classroom. Our kids are not your emotional support animals. Stop treating them like that. I'm a mother, not a birthing person. I earned that right with my cellulite and my stretch marks. You're not going to do this to us. We will fight you every single day from now on.
Thank you for your testimony. Once again, more like this. And of course, they're trying real hard to convince people that we need to start wearing masks, and there's a new vaccine out and all this other stuff, and a majority of Americans are saying stuff like this.
You know, this whole new COVID variant, and Biden just now this morning giving a recommendation that all Americans need to start getting vaccinated and wearing a mask. Go fuck yourself. We're not doing this again. More corrupt bullshit. It's funny that all this is happening right before one of the biggest elections probably in this country's history because of how corrupt this administration is. Let's not forget that there's way more of us than there are of you. Fuck you, lefties.
And it's right.
New COVID
XLV.
variant.
Like I say, more like this. More like this. All right, time for the funnies. I got a few more minutes before I'm going to send you on over to the Drunken Rocky. But Maxim Beatty, he's one of my favorites. And he makes a good point on this. It's kind of funny.
I was actually once driving my date home.
And
she said to me, I don't need a man.
Why did she say that? Any context?
I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, so get the f*** out the car.
Well, that escalated quickly. I don't believe it, but go on.
And hitchhike. Turned out, she got kidnapped.
Is this story reaching for the heavens because it keeps escalating?
And that's a great example of why women need men.
No, it is not. Jesus Christ, on the motorbike, what a terrible story. Even though in the history of things that did not happen, this is the thing that never happened the most. Bro thought his story ate. Your story is hungry. Even if this is true, there is plenty of legitimate things a lady could need a man for. This is not one of them. The kidnapper is probably a man. The person that put her out the car, man. And you are telling her she need man because...
I was actually once driving.
Once driving his date home. I guess he never did that again. Maxim Beatty's funny though. This was pretty funny too. Excuse me. We all know Brandon Tatum. He picked out one of these jokes for a short. It was pretty funny.
Uh-oh. Tell me you white without telling me you white.
Oh, this is easy. We can't have that. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like a diamond rings a football team. That'll do it. Y'all come back now, you hear?
You know what's funny about that is because that kid set it up on himself. Tell me you're white without telling me you're white. The one guy did the daddy. His kids came home. He go, hey, daddy. That's what you get trying to be provocative and trying to make it about race. You're going to get a lot of people coming and giving the stereotypical response that you believe is racist. So I love the fact that people are doing it. I hope a lot of people do it. Maybe that's the reason why he did the little front clip, is because he wanted to see all the things that would happen, knowing that his clip would go viral because people will respond to it. I don't know. You tell me. Uh-oh.
And people don't want to be boring anymore. It's boring. And it's also really hard to tiptoe through the eggshells all the time with this stuff. Not to mention the fact, what the hell are these people going to do? Most of them are soy boys anyway. They're going to take away your birthday. Tell them where to get off, man. You don't have any authority here. All right. This guy makes a good point, but he says it in a very funny way. I forget what this guy's name is, but he's hilarious.
This happened in Michigan. A tiny little bird was very exuberant and happy, and winter started coming. It should have gone south, but it was so happy it forgot about it and a little late. Then it tried to fly, but because of the cold, its wings froze and it fell down. Then a cow was passing that way and it dropped a heap of dung and it fell right on the bird. So inside this dung, the warmth of the dung caused thaw of the wings, the ice melted away and it felt happy and warm. Tick, 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 it started tweeting from inside the dung. It couldn't get up, but it was happy inside the dung. A cat was going by, it heard this bird tweaking, it opened up the dung and ate up the bird. The moral of the story is, not everybody who heaps dung on you is your enemy. Not everybody who gets you out of shit is your friend. And above all, when you're in a heap of shit, keep your mouth shut. This happened.
This dude is a globalist shill. Is he? Hello, Resistance. Welcome to the show. Salty Mad Jameson. Welcome to the show. He's pretty funny. I see him a lot. I haven't ever looked into him. He does make some good points, though. Alright. This is a song that came across my feed that I thought you guys might enjoy. It's called The Show Goes On, Taylor Goyette. He finally came out with a video.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clown struggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lions at the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleaders on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth. Ignore the flames. Do not panic. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling
Good, good. Actually, the video just dropped not too long ago. The song's been out for a while, but it came across my feed and it was like, how apropos. But we're seeing more indies and things like that doing this kind of thing too. Look at Tom McDonald, look at Dax, look at a lot of the indies, look at some of the Christian rockers and stuff like that. They're going against it too. So I'm sure that they're taking that money away from the rich that would actually have that money to begin with and turn those people into slaves otherwise once they sign on that dotted line. It's just like John Rich said, if that redheaded guy, I forget his name, that did Richmond north of Richmond, if he'd have actually been signed on to a record company when he made that song, nobody would have heard it. So keep it up. Again, they scream at us lies at the top of their lungs. We need to start screaming the truth at the top of ours. Excuse me. All right. Like I always do, last little word from Marmari.
Meet Jesus Christ of Nazareth face to face, you will then and then only for sure, beyond the slightest of any doubts, you will know, not only believe, you will know, because there you will see him face to face. You don't need faith anymore. You're going to see him face to face. When you see him there, you will know this is the only true living God ever to exist. There has never been, never will be any other God but this sweetheart. His name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. You will know this. No one will tell you, no one will teach you anymore, because Christ will reveal that to you himself. You will know this.
Can't wait.
And you will know that he was always in control from day one till the last day of existence. He was always in control. Nothing slipped out of his hand. For the palm of his hand, when he grabs something with his hand, no one can take anything out of this hand. It's the hand of God. Good luck. Go and fight against the Lamb. He overcame them. Why? Because he is the Lord of Lords and the King of all kings. If you think you are kings of the world, well, he is the King of all kings. He is the one who instates you, and he is the one who plugs you out of your roots. It is the Lord who is in control, no one else. No one else. It's the Lord. When
I still like him a whole lot. All right. You're welcome. Gray Man, welcome to the show. Pastor Shadley, thanks, Laura, friend. Yes, you're welcome. Ebtide, thanks, Laura. Great show. Appreciate that. Cool. Just a salty girl. Well, welcome. Glad to see you. Thank you guys for being here. And, of course, as you know, that's about it for me for right now. Don't forget to support all the folks on Rougarou's TV Guide, Pure Blood TV, the interactive Pure Blood schedule, and be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky show on Odysee next. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll shit yourself, and then you'll be subjected to drunk music. While everyone passes out on the behind the screens there and everything like that. All right, appreciate you guys all being here. Thanks for the support. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the calls. Don't forget to send me your clips and commercials for mine or your shows if you still got anything like that. God bless you. God bless America. Peace, love, health, and music to you all, always. And until next time, AMF.